Hey everybody, I'm going to be talking to you today about the first IPO that Pantherswap is launching and how it's going to help that platform grow a lot and has a chance to become a very good project in its own. So let's go ahead and take a look at the first IPO that they have going, and it's called AutoShark Finance. AutoShark Finance, as it states there, is a kind of like Pancake Bunny, but it's going to be targeting specific farms and AMMs to do the same kind of things Pancake Bunny did. So they're going to be launching on the 19th at 7 a.m. UTC time. Make sure you figure out what time that is for you. They also have a timer on their site. I'll go ahead and show you that at the end here. But let's go ahead and go over the IPO, how much they're raising, the tokenomics, and things like that that we need to know. So you can read here all about AutoShark and how it's a fork of Pancake Bunny, how it's built a little bit simpler. And while their main feature is going to be auto compounding for farms that don't offer auto compounding, and then they're going to be making it so you earn more, but also they get to take a portion of those earnings as part of a fee that they then work into supporting their own token, kind of the way Pancake Bunny works. So here's the details for the IPO. You have the time and the start. They're looking to raise 1.5 million, so it's not a very big raise. They are looking to price their token at $1 per, so you're going to be giving out 1.5 million tokens in this raise. This, because of the way that the IPOs work on Pantherswap, is similar to how the cake ones originally functioned. You're talking about them ending up burning $750,000 worth of Panther that gets put into this pool, because basically they're going to put in at least, they're going to take out 1.5 million dollars in liquidity tokens. They'll then take those ones out. The Panther will be burned, and the BNB would be given to the Shark team for their raise. So they're looking to actually get about $750,000 worth of BNB. Now, they did say that some additional things you should know is that it will be 50% of that will be locked up, and then it'll be 50% of what is locked will be released a month after. So it looks like they'll get their money over the course of around 3 months, all of the BNB that is raised. That does make sure that the project does go live and that the farms are working, and that at least their first couple automated farms are working and up before they get all of their money, which is good. They are using the overflow method, so you're going to have 4 hours to get your tokens in, and no matter what, if you want to get your tokens in, you can get them in, but you're not guaranteed to end up in getting, if you put $1,000, you're not necessarily getting 1,000 tokens, because if more than 1.5 million goes in, then you're going to get some kind of tokens and some of your LP tokens back. It all depends on how the math works. An example would be if you put $1,000 in to get 1,000 tokens, but if they ended up raising $2 million, then that would get cut down to about 700 tokens that you would get, and $300 back in liquidity tokens. You can do all the math if you want to on that, or find someone to do it, but I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. Hopefully you understand the way that oversubscribing works for these kind of raises, and that you do get your funds, some of your funds back, so they don't just disappear, but you won't get the exact allocation that you're expecting usually, unless it doesn't reach 1.5 million or it somehow exactly reached 1.5 million. Both of those scenarios would be pretty surprising to me. So that kind of breaks down the token sales. So let's go ahead and take a look at the AutoShark Finance site. So you can see, as you can see, they built it a lot like Pancake Bunny. I like the color scheme a little bit better. I don't like all the pink on Pancake Bunny. We're going to go look at that site in a second so you can see what they're aiming to try to become. But they're going to start with these 3 initial pools. They're going to have the pool for the Panther Token, where you're going to be earning Shark Token and Panther Token. They're going to be auto compounding. It's going to be a pretty crazy APR if they get this up in the next couple days, because if you take a look over here on Pantherswap, and we go to the pools, the Panther Den's paying out at 425% with an APR. They don't even have an APY set up for if you were able to auto compound this. And none of us can auto compound with the 5% fees that are locked up here, and the gas fees is often as a good automated market maker. So this is an exciting pool, and you can imagine that almost all of the funds here, and you can see I have a few tokens locked up, all of this $24 million, there's a good chance that almost all of it is initially going to go straight into this pool. There might be a few people that don't want to trust it going into here for the possibility that this does add one more layer of risk, but because they did fork the Pancake Bunny code, and they do have an ongoing audit that should be out soon, and they're planning to do 3 audits by the time in July, and that's all explained in their roadmap, and I'll have a link to that so you can check out their docs and what they're doing. Actually, the roadmap is kind of lacking, but they do have a lot of information there so you understand where they're going. We'll go ahead and take a quick look over here. Like I said, the roadmap is pretty lacking. I can't breathe on land. Sharks don't need a roadmap. We travel by the ocean. Some cool facts. And then they talk about how sharks work. It's kind of distracting from the fact that they haven't really built out a solid roadmap for where they're going, but they are just trying to be what Pancake Bunny is. So we do know kind of what they're working on. And they talk about, getting everything set up on BSC Scan, getting themselves listed on CoinGecko, on CoinMarketCap, getting themselves lifted in the DApp radar and the DApp review, getting listed on VFAT Tools, which is something a lot of people use to go ahead and find tokens. And then they're going to be doing some marketing and partnerships and things like that. Here's the one that really impressed me, though. They already have one audit going on and 2 audits coming, and they also are a fork of a project that has already been audited in Pancake Bunny. So there's a good chance that we're not going to end up seeing this disappear. I do hope that this one is. So if you look at it, we're in May, June, July. July is when they're supposed to be getting their last set of tokens from the Pantherswap raise. So if they don't have those audits out by then and they're getting their last pool of money, that's where I might think about taking some of my funds off the platform, because it's like, why aren't these audits out yet? You said they would be. Is there something wrong with the code and we don't know about it yet? That could be a big problem. So it's just something to be careful of if you do decide to go ahead and get into the AutoShark scene. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at Pancake Bunny. And why would we be over here looking at that? It's just because I want to show you that this site did also start with a very simple thing, that they would auto farm your cake for you if you wanted it to be in there. They created their own token to put on top of it to make it enticing for people to come over here. They created a very nice fee structure that allowed their token to grow from around $5 and $6 all the way up to $230, and it has been as high as $350. And some people think that their market cap of 400 million is kind of low, considering they have $4 billion in assets staked here. And we're in a red day right now, bad weekend. The overall market is terrible, and this token is still doing okay, sitting here at $231. And so this is kind of the future that they'll be trying to go to. They also, going back to AutoFarm, they are going to have the Zap functionality, which allows you to go ahead and turn any asset into any pairing really easily. So that's a pretty cool thing that Pancake Bunny does. And they're also going to be targeting similar safe farms that they can get into so that they can just try to build their lock liquidity on this platform, because really the name of the game about raising the value of your token when your token's value is supported by maintenance fees isn't chasing the highest yields out there. It's chasing the safest yields out there. And that's why if you go look at Pancake Bunny, besides their tokens, which are paying out absolutely amazing, and the cake token, which just happens to pay out at a very, very high rate, you get down out of these ones that are cake related and bunny related, and you look at the other assets on here. You have BTC BNB, ETH BNB, BUSD BNB, USDT BNT. So all BNB and stable coins and stable farms, and they're all paying at very low percents, but they have massive amounts of money in here. And so they can, even though the percents are going up low, when they're able to take out their maintenance fees that they do for running these, that they make very clear, they are able to go ahead and really, really, really drive value into their own token. And that's what AutoShark is going to be trying to do. And so we should see in short order a lot of stable pairs come onto here. And if you're a fan of the project, you can put your money in here and it supports that token, which is really an exciting thing to do. It's one of those things, as you get more and more into the crypto and the DeFi space, you really get incentivized to put all your money in one space, but at the same time you're like, I don't want to put all my money in one space, because what if they are a bad space and I lose it all? So it's just something that you have to judge on yourself. So let's go ahead and get over here to Pantherswap so we can look at the site. So Pantherswap launched with this idea that we are going to be the new Pancake site. We're going to copy their setup, but we're going to make every single improvement and do everything right that they did wrong. We're going to start off by adding a 5% transaction fee to the Panther token, which builds liquidity so that we don't have this issue where the price is constantly dropping and people are just farming it and selling it. And we're also going to build in a lot of anti-whale functionality and all kinds of other things. And I'll have my original video that goes over the Panther project in detail linked at the end of this video if you want to know more about them. But just to show you what they've been doing, they came out I got into them about $2.50. I went ahead and got into their big farm here that was going off at 2,000%. And so far I've been pretty good. I've just been farming these Panther tokens. I've actually been holding them. When I get into a new project, I don't like to try to sell them right away. They also have no fees currently on any of their farms to try to entice liquidity to move off of sites like PancakeSwap and other people and come over to here. So we'll have to see if that goes. Some of their big announcements that they launched recently was the fact that the Pantherswap is now listed on CoinGecko as an exchange, because here, if you want to get into their farms, you have to stake your liquidity here on Pantherswap. They are not riding the coattails of PancakeSwap anymore because they're trying to be a direct competitor, and they feel like they need to have their own liquidity pools so that they can offer their own rewards and so that they can have those fees being earned over here, and really just building their own platform that, while it is going to kind of stand and be very similar to PancakeSwap, it's the improved tokenomics is hopefully what will, in their mind, will drive them to be a bigger project. So far, they've got 367 million in TVL. It's nowhere near what PancakeSwap has. And in their IPOs, they are just launching their first one, while Pancake has launched many. And their jungles, they currently do not have any other projects sitting here that you can earn by staking on this platform. But this is how early we still are when you look at Pantherswap. So getting back to the IPO, if you do want to take place, what do you need to do? So the main thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to come to Pantherswap. You're going to have to go to the exchange and buy some Panther tokens. Then you're going to have to go to the liquidity page, and you're actually going to have to add the liquidity here. So you'll be looking to add BNB and Panther. So you'll be adding these two. Oops. For some reason, when I click Panther, cake comes up. That's kind of funny. So you'll be looking to add these two liquidity. You'll get your liquidity tokens. If you pick them up early today, you can go ahead and park them in this farm here and earn some tokens. That's what I did with the ones I picked up a few hours ago. But pay attention to the fact that there is a 2-hour lockup. Do not put them in here 2 hours before the IPO, or you won't be able to unstake them and get them into there. That's not a huge deal because the window to get into the IPO is 4 hours, so you should have time still to get them out of here, even if you had to wait. But just don't chance that. You don't want to buy some tokens, have them sitting here, and then have them get stuck. But once you have your Panther LP tokens, and to check that you have the right tokens, even if you don't want to stake them, you can hit the plus sign and they should show up here as long as you've set everything up right. So now you have your tokens, now you're ready. So you come back here, check out this timer, figure out when 1 day, 2 hours, and 28 minutes is from you. I figured out for me what about time that should be. Do you understand that it's starting on a block? That means this start time is not exact. So you should be here a little bit early, about 15 minutes early in case the blocks are running a little bit quick, or it might start about 15 minutes late if the blocks are running a little bit slow for some reason. That can happen when stuff like this is going on, but it is a 4-hour window to get in, so you can just come in anytime within, maybe 2 hours after this, and you should just be able to stake your tokens. As you stake your tokens, once they are in here, you will see how many are staked. Sorry, shouldn't have clicked on that. Meant to hit this one and hide that. You will see how many are staked and how close they are to being fully subscribed, and then how oversubscribed they are. And then when everything is finished, you should be able to see all the numbers and have some idea of exactly how many tokens you're going to be getting. Then once the tokens are released to us, you'll be able to come back, you'll be able to claim your Shark tokens, and you'll be able to claim your tokens that are your LP tokens that were not used. At that point, you can decide what to do with those. We're going to talk just a minute about what can happen to those LP tokens, just because I want you guys to be fully aware. So whenever you get into a farm and you put Panther and BNB together, you're subject to some impermanent loss as the price of the Panther token moves. You're not going to be really concerned if it moves up, because while you're going to have a little bit of impermanent loss compared to if you were holding Panther token, you're overall going to gain a little bit of money in that scenario, so you're not going to be really mad. Because you probably wouldn't have bought Panther tokens unless you meant to get into this pool to get into the IPO. Now, if Panther goes down, let's say just to get an idea, there's $26 million in liquidity in here. Let's say it gets oversubscribed by, I don't know, $15 million or something like that in there instead of 1.5, which means we'd all get about 1/10 of how many Shark tokens as we thought we were going to get. Well, In that case, when a lot of these tokens would be coming back to us, and if some people might not want to hold those. If they don't, they're going to be looking to dump the Panther token, and the price could move down. And if you're not quick enough, you could get some permanent loss on whatever tokens get refunded to you. So just remember that. Don't buy more of this LP token than you plan to try to put into the IPO, and be very careful with that, because I don't want anybody to lose a large amount of money because they get a large refund and then the Panther token drops and they're not able to get out of it quick enough. So be very careful if you get into this. Understand the risk and the impermanent loss that could happen. Now, the Panther token has been pretty steady around this price. It dropped down to about $1.30 and then it came back up to $1.50, as you can see. And I do expect to see it go a little bit higher in the next 24 hours as more people get ready to get into the pool and go ahead and try to take part in this first IPO. I'm going to end the video there, everybody. I hope you had a good one, and I thank you very much. If this was helpful, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I'd appreciate it a lot. I do try to cover a lot of these kind of projects and always give you a chance to get into stuff early. It doesn't always work out, but on the ones it does, it works out really well. Thanks. Bye.